Right, in the NBA, only 5 games on the docket, but some really impactful ones. We're going to start off in Detroit, where they took down the Cleveland Cavaliers in overtime, 122 to 119. Pistons moved to 44 and 14 on the season. Cade Cunningham, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, but he fouled out during regulation, so it fell on a couple of the reserves and Jalen Duren to lead the way. Dennis Jenkins, he got fouled on a half-court shot and sent the game into overtime with 3 free throws. They tried to foul him, and force 2 free throws, but instead he chucked it up and he got 3 free throws, tied the game. Jalen Duren led the way with 33 points and 16 rebounds. He had 3 blocks as well, really controlling the game on both ends. 11 of 19 from the field, 11 of 15 from the free throw line. So he was awesome in this one. 89 overall for him, +1, also +2 from where 2K Sports has him at. He's had one of the best seasons for a big man in the NBA this season. Cleveland Cavaliers, a little bit of a disappointing run for them. They've been without Donovan Mitchell and now James Harden for the last 2 games. They dropped to 37 and 24 after they were starting to make some headway in the Eastern Conference. So it kind of sucks for them. So they had to start Dennis Schroeder, Sam Merrill, Jalen Tyson in this one. Dean Wade and Keon Ellis were also out. Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley were big in this one. Mobley 23 and 12 with 4 blocks. Jarrett Allen 25 and 9, 10 of 12 from the field. Although he also fouled out. A lot of guys fouled out. Kind of a chippy game with the fouls. Duncan Robinson also fouled out for the Pistons. Sam Merrill, he had 20 points to hold serve. He's one of the better backup shooting guards in the NBA. Dennis Schroeder had a good game if you only look at the counting stats, 12 points and 9 assists, but he had 8 turnovers to go with those 9 assists and was 4 of 15 from the field. So efficiency definitely not there. Obviously was impacted by the physical defense of Detroit. Going over to the Boston Celtics, they absolutely blew the doors off of the Brooklyn Nets in historic fashion, 148 to 111. Boston shot 67% from the field, 65% from 3. They had an 80.8 effective field goal percentage, which set an NBA record. Holy shit, the Nets suck. Celtics moved to 39 and 20 on the year. Jaylen Brown, 28 points. Nikola Vucevic off the bench had 28 and 11. Peyton Pritchard with the bounce back game had 22 points. Obviously, the Nets rookie backcourt was no match. No real notes for the Nets in this one. They dropped to 15 and 44. Michael Porter Jr. led the way with 18, as per usual, but he has no help. Danny Wolf had 16 points. Nets signed Grant Nelson to a 10-day contract. He is a rookie power forward. Nets now have 6 rookies on their roster. I'm sure he'll get added to the 2K roster at some point in the coming days, and at which point I will add him to my roster. But going over across town to the New York Knicks, they likewise blew out their opponent, 127 to 98, getting a win over the Milwaukee Bucks. They're now 38 and 22 on the season, a game and a half behind the Celtics. Knicks shot 52% from the field, 50% from 3 in this one. Jalen Brunson had 27 points, 11 of 17 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3. Solid game overall for him. But he's only shot 44% from the field, 32% from 3 in February. So I did actually drop his rating, -1, 92 overall. I do have Tyrese Maxey ahead. I think Maxey's had a better season overall. Jalen Brunson still among the top 5 point guards, at least healthy ones in the NBA. But he has his production overall has slipped a little bit from the past 2 seasons. OG Anunoby, 24 points, 8 of 10 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3. Karl Anthony Towns, 17 and 13 in this one. Landry Shamet, 15 points, 5 of 7 from 3. I did clean up the rest of the ratings on this team as well. I did drop Mitchell Robinson and Jose Alvarado down to 79s, just kind of based on the roles that they're playing for the Knicks this season. Robinson came into the season as like a spot starter, but he hasn't really been starting much at all. Jose Alvarado Doesn't have the same assist rate that he had last year off the top of my head. So, just drop them down to kind of reflect their roles with the New York Knicks off their bench. Still key players, but not starting level players, which is basically what an 80 overall is. Memphis Grizzlies, they got a win over the Dallas Mavericks in the tanking Olympics, 124-105. This game was a revenge game for Omax Prosper. He doubled with 16 points and 10 rebounds against his former team. I probably should knock his rating up. I'll do it after the stats are in tomorrow. Taj Gibson did not play in this game. I'm not sure if he's actually officially signed yet or not, but I imagine he'll probably play a role once he is actually active. Ty Jerome was out again, so they started Pippen and Small in the backcourt and then brought Spencer and Clayton off the bench. Spencer led the way with 25 points. Dallas Mavericks held out a lot of their guys in this game. A.J. Johnson led the way with 34 minutes in this game, which is really all you need to know. Mavs, they sat out most of the team. Clay, Caleb Martin, I believe, was out. P.J. Washington, Marvin Bagley sat, although Daniel Gafford was back in the lineup in this one. AJ had 12 points, but on 3 of 13 shooting. He's a huge tank commander, gets saved for a silly season, hasn't really done much in the NBA outside of March and April. Miles Kelly, he also played 31 minutes in this game, probably a season high for him. He had 9 points in this one as well. Dallas likely ceding Rookie of the Year award to not to Cooper Flagg, but to Con Knippel, as each game that he misses while Con is setting rookie three-point records is going to make it harder for him to win the actual award. OKC, they beat the Denver Nuggets 127-121 in overtime. Another huge overtime game with implications across the standings. Matchup of the MVPs, SGA and Nikola Jokic. SGA making his return after a 9-game absence. He had 36 points, 12 of 29 from the field, 12 of 13 from the free throw line, had 9 assists, only 1 turnover in 34 minutes, so showing no ill effects or rust. Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, Alex Caruso were also back for this marquee matchup. Chet in particular, 15 points and a career-high 21 rebounds in this one. Jared McCain, he still played a role off the bench as A.J. Mitchell is still sidelined with his abdominal strain. He had 14 points with 6 of 8 from the field in 19 minutes, probably his best game overall on the year given the stakes. So I'll look for him to maybe maintain his role in the rotation for just a while longer. OKC is crazy deep in this one. Kenrich Williams was a DNP CD in this one. Nikola Topic also hitting the bench as well now that the MVP is back. Going over to Denver, where we're going to finish off, at least with the games for tonight. Jokic, he triple-doubled as per usual. 23, 17, and 14, but he was 9 of 25 from the field, 2 for 10 from 3, 3 of 5 from the free throw line. So the Denver Nuggets, or rather the OKC Thunder, they definitely limited him on the defensive end. Jokic hasn't been 100% since returning from injury, but he's out there battling because they feel it's very important for them to lock up a top 4 seed in the West. Jamal Murray was back in the lineup after only playing 8 minutes in the last game due to illness. He had 39 points to lead all scorers, with 7 of 13 from 3, so looks like he's feeling better. Christian Brown, he's also been playing a lot better of late after a nightmare start to the season. Season high, 23 points as he's been rounding back into form over the last month or so. Tim Hardaway Jr. also had a really big first half, finished with 16 points off the bench, but we'll see what happens once Aaron Gordon and Peyton Watson and also Jalen Williams are healthy for their respective teams come playoff time. A little bit of news around the league. Norm Powell is going to be week to week with a strained groin, so I'm not sure if Tyler Hero is going to start in his place or if they're going to keep him in a 6-man role. We'll find out tomorrow. Cole Anthony was waived by the Phoenix Suns, so maybe he will join somebody on the buyout market. Where is the free agent pool? There we go. Lonzo Ball is probably not going to sign anywhere. The teams that were interested in signing him, like the Warriors and Nuggets, are kind of a little iffy on his medicals. Obviously, no team wants to sign a player that is not going to be healthy for the playoffs. Probably seems like Lonzo's career might be over at the current rate. Uh, Player whose career is not quite yet over would be D'Angelo Russell. He found no takers for his services on the buyout market, so he will report to the Wizards, I assume. I'm not sure if he's actually going to report or if he just announced that he's not going to be bought out or whatever. We'll see. Once I get a little more clarity on that, I'll reactivate him. I imagine he's not going to play very much for the Wizards either. They're probably going to be content to play Sharif Cooper over him, would be my ultimate guess, but we'll see what happens there. There's only 5 games on the docket for Saturday as well, so kind of a light schedule. Not nearly as many. The marquee games are definitely on Friday, but we do have Portland versus Charlotte, 2 teams vying for play-in supremacy in their respective conferences. We've got Houston versus Miami, so we'll get some clarity on their situation in their backcourt. Toronto versus Washington, which probably is going to be an easy win for the Raptors. The Lakers versus the Warriors. Can't count the Lakers out after out of winning a game against a shorthanded team. They already lost to the Phoenix Suns in their last one, so we'll see what happens in that game. And then we've got a tanking rematch, the Pelicans versus the Utah Jazz. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in my previous video, but Lauri Markkanen is going to be out for apparently the next 2 weeks at least. I don't want to say the next 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks, probably out for the year, given all the nonsense that Utah has been pulling this year. And they are extremely motivated to lose to the Pelicans, they actually want to win games because they don't have their draft pick. So they've been playing a lot better over the last month or so. DeJounte Murray recently came back from a torn Achilles, so I want to see how they round into form. Sadiq Bey had a really massive game in his last one, so yeah. And DeAndre Jordan has been exhumed. He's now starting at age 37. So those are the most interesting anecdotes that I can find for the upcoming games. Be sure to check that out as I break all those games down tomorrow. Thanks for watching this video. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that jazz. I don't really market myself all that well, but I probably should. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.